Hola entrenadores, soy Pilar Jauregui de Perú. Nuestro penúltimo oponente es el destacado fisioterapeuta Luque Manjon, que actualmente trabaja en el equipo de China. Compartirá algunas de las últimas técnicas de entrenamiento para obtener el máximo rendimiento.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank to BWF for the invitation and give me the opportunity to share my experience with the badminton players. My name is Christian. I'm a strength and conditioning coach and return to play coach, and actually working with the mixed doubles pair from China, Huang Yachon and Sensi Wei. I have been working with the Chinese badminton team since 2018 in different periods, and I would like to share with you a little bit of my experience with them. When I started to work with the badminton players, I didn't have any experience with working with badminton players. I was working with tennis players mainly, and with different sports, but never with badminton players. And then I start to make me questions to myself and how I can provide the best training to the athletes and which information is relevant to train these athletes. First of all, is understand the sport from different aspects of the training. From the physiological point of view, from the technical, from the way they move. For example, this research paper shows that most of the jumps and landing actions in badminton are with one leg. And this is relevant for me to develop the training session with the athletes. It's relevant in terms of injury reduction. It's relevant in terms of the way we develop the strength for the athletes. I think it's very important because one of the risk factors for one of the most common injuries in athletes happens after landing. Like we could see with different athletes with the ACL injuries, and then prepare the athletes for these kind of actions is very important. With this paper, we could see, like in all the sports, the intensity of the sport is increasing during the years, and then we need to prepare them for the demands of the actual badminton, where they have many competitions, where you have more this year that they are in the preparation for the Olympic Games. They need to get the points. They need to play a lot of competitions, and we need to give the athlete the proper recovery and protect them from injuries. After having the information and doing the research about badminton, that we can say that comparing with other sports, like football, there is much less research, but we can take knowledge from other fields and use during our training. The second aspect is the individual profile of the athlete. What are the specific characteristics of the different athletes, according with the category that they play and the individual physical qualities? Here we see, for example, 4 mixed double players, but their characteristics of their game are completely different. For example, for Huang Dongping, she's a player who play close to the net, but also move back and attack. In case of Huang Yachon, she moves basically all the movement she does is laterally. And then we need to take in account this information in terms of the physical preparation, because we need to know in the way that they generate the strength and in the way that is more important that they improve their movements. how we get this information? First of all, we can have like the historical injury record of the players, because we know the first risk factor of injury is to have had the same injury before. And then one of the first things I did with them is recollect all the information about the injuries they had in the past. Another way to have their physical profile is to select which physical tests are more important for me to get information that I can use during my training. For example, the capacity to change of direction, the counter-movement jump, like physiological profile. We can get a lot of information doing different kind of tests, from the qualitative aspect and the quantitative aspect. The next aspect is how they train, because as a physical coach, we need to prepare. The main two goals are prepare the players for the demands of the training and the competition and keep them healthy. Then we have to understand in the way that they train, because every country or every coach has their own style. All the players, they have their own style, and from the physical point of view, we need to prepare the athletes to achieve the maximum performance when they are in the court. Because from my point of view, is the core where the players will improve. We have to provide the resources to achieve their maximum performance when they are there. The next aspect is when they compete. When are the competitions during the year? As I said before, this year we have the preparation for the Olympic Games, the qualification, and the players need to play a lot of competitions because they need to get the points. There is competition between in our case, it's internal competition with the other mixed double pairs and also with the other countries. And then in their case, they need to be in perfect condition during every tournament, because every tournament that they play, they go with the goal to win. It's different if we have another pairs that they play like few rounds during every tournament, and then we need to consider what we do during the competition after they lose the matches. But for them, the main goal after the competition is to recover them and then be ready for the next competition, because they have to play a lot of matches around the year. Actually, they play between 50, 60, depending on the year. And then, before we had the concept that the players, they need to peak in some point, and the rest of the year they can maintain. But for them, they need to peak during all the year. Then we have to divide the training in microcycles. It means every week we need to control the training they do according with the competition, if they have competition later, if they had competition before, and then they need to arrive in the best condition for the tournament. But, for example, in my opinion, during the competition, the only goal is compete. Then the preparation during the tournaments is just prepare the body for the competition. And after they finish the matches, it's just recovery as best as it's possible to be ready for the next match. But we don't load the players during the competition, because the most important aspect of the tournament is the match. Some time ago, I was listening to a podcast about one of the best sports scientists in football, is Martin Bucate, and he said this sentence: if content is king, then context is God. And then, after I hear that, this clicked on my mind. I think this is very important, because I can have all the knowledge about science or about badminton, but I need to understand where I am. I started to work with the Chinese badminton team, has been the best team in the world during the last 20 years. I cannot pretend arrive there and change all the methodology of training. I need to understand the culture of the coaches, the country, and all different aspects. I think if you don't understand this, it's very difficult to be successful in some areas where the traditional point of view of training has been the dominant. Then, first of all, I needed to understand which aspects are very important for them, which aspects I can introduce some of the new methodologies for training, which aspects I can change about the education of the players, about the sleeping, about nutrition, and which aspects are just part of the culture of the country. And even if I sometimes I differ with these ways of doing, I need to accept and understand the reason why they do it. And also, when we work for a team, there are many different characters, there are many different egos, and we need to work together because the goal is to help the player. Sometimes we need to choose like the battles we want to fight and focus in all the aspects that are under our control, and not thinking in all the aspects that we cannot change or improve. And the last aspect is, I think, coaching. Some people call the art of coaching. You need to have a lot of understanding of a human being. You need to understand that the athletes, before athletes, are people. And sometimes the science tells to us that we need to do these protocols after they finish, these protocols before the competition, or they need to rest these days and we need to pick the other days. But there are many aspects around that we cannot control. If the player had some problem with the family or they don't feeling good, we need to use the art. We need to adapt the training because in this day, maybe we had the goal of maybe very intense cardio workout, but for this athlete, maybe the best for this day is talk with him or her and sit and try to find a solution for or just let them express. Then I think the science in the last days has helped a lot to us to have information about what happened in the core. We can control the training load. We know how many jumps they can do it, how many change of direction. But we cannot just focus on the numbers. We need to focus in the human part of the training and aspects like the communication, aspects like the understanding the human being are very, very important if we want to be success. In my example, for example, there are routines that the athletes have before the warm-up of the competition that from the scientific point of view maybe are not the best. But before a competition, the player need to don't think about anything. They just need to follow their routine and not be affected for all the surround around. And then what I do is just, after they finish the routine, I add the parts that I think are very important for them to prepare the competition in terms of physical condition or in terms of performance. But I cannot go and tell them, okay, we're going to change all your warm-up because from the scientific point of view, it's not the best. Because I'm going to break their routine. And the mental preparation before a game is very important, and more in this kind of competition like the World Championship, that for the athletes are one of the top competitions of the year. And then I think us as a coach, we need to dominate both sides. And I will say we need to be more in the art than the science. I have seen many good coaches that they have low knowledge of science, and they have a lot of knowledge in this side, and I know very good scientists or researchers that they don't have the qualities to apply this information in the teams because they don't have this capability to be close to the athletes and try to understand that they are humans before athletes. And yeah, I think that for me, I try to transmit what is more important from the theoretical point of view. And now we are going to move to the core soon. I'm going to try to show you some exercises like that we can do during the activation of the warm-up before the players start to play or compete. Because I think the warm-up is an incredible tool that we have that we don't use enough. Sometimes, with the schedules that the athletes have, we don't have too much time for training. Then, if we have a warm-up every single session, for example, as we have about more than 2 hours of warm-ups, we can use this time to improve the physical qualities of the players. And there are some aspects of the training, like improving the speed, improving the reaction, or when you try to introduce some technical aspects that for us is better in do it in condition where the players are fresh, not after the session or after a high-intensity training. Then, as I say, we are going to move to the core, and then I will show you some exercises that you can apply with your athletes. Everybody to one mat. Yeah, you can go to the mat. Usually, in very traditional way of training, we have used the static stretching, running laps around the core as a part of the warm-up. And for example, the research has shown us that static stretching can be negative for performance, can affect like explosive actions, like the badminton players need. And then a better way to activate the players before the competition or before the warm-up, before the practice, could be an active mobility. And then I will try to show you just some basic exercises that they can do for part of the activation before they start practice of competition. Okay, go to the mat, lie down on your back. Open your hands. Then, now you need to fix your hips to the ground and stretch your leg and move side. Exactly, you move to the side, but try to fix your hips to the ground. Exactly, go back and then go down. Exactly, you can do 3-4 times. This is a better way to activate the muscles around our hip because the goal is to give the proper range of motion to our joints. Okay. Now you can lie down, the same position, you can hold your leg, push to you from behind. Okay, and then stretch your leg, exactly, to active stretching for our hamstrings. Yeah, we can do an activation of the different joints of our body. We can focus in the, also is specific to the players, which player have more limitations in different areas. If some players specifically have more limitations, the hip, we will do more exercises in the lower body. Okay, now lie down on the side, yeah, like that, bend your knees, exactly. Straight your arms, and from this position, fix your back and move your arm to the other side. And follow with your head, exactly, try, exactly. Another important aspect is the thoracic mobility. Okay, try to fix the back. Exactly. You can do 3-4 times one side and then change the side. For example, in case of a wheelchair athlete, all the exercises around the core to keep the mobility and the stability are very important, not only for the performance in their sport, also for improve their quality of life. Okay, perfect. Okay, now on your knees, this position, and then this position, you stretch your leg and at the same time rotate. It's okay. Stretch your leg. Okay, exactly. Try to follow the movement of your head. You just keep, try and rotate here. Yeah, exactly. We have to, for example, in the case of the Paralympic para-badminton athletes, we need to focus more not in the limitations that they have. We need to focus more in what we can do to help them to improve their performance and their quality of life. It's not about the limitations. It's about all the possibilities that we have. And I think we have a lot to improve in the para-badminton athletes and also another Paralympic sports. Okay. Now, this position, from here, we stretch here, keep body straight like 3 seconds, and go down. Try push with your glutes and not with your back. Not hyperextend your back. Okay. It's okay. You can keep your arm straight. Exactly. Just here. Okay. It's just an example of the different possibilities, but you have much more exercises that you can do for shoulder mobility, for hip mobility. Now, the second part we are going to do is we are going to focus in the core exercises. Core stability is a very important aspect for performance in many aspects. We know that a poor core stability can affect the shoulder, can affect the landing mechanics, increasing the risk of injury. For para-badminton athletes, it's very important for their performance because they do just flexion, extension of the core during all the time. Then, usually, many people still focus doing sit-ups, but there are many exercises that we can do to improve the quality of the core stability and the core strength. We are going to start with very basic exercises, the dead back, lying down. Yeah. Put your back, then you need to try to keep your back all the time in contact with the ground, and very slowly focusing on your core and stretch your arms, and then your legs. Exactly. Control your breath. Exactly. These exercises look very simple, but are very good to teach the players how to activate the deep muscles of your core. Because many times we try to make very complicated exercise for the athletes, but they don't have a proper control in their core. Okay, now we can do a variation, and then with this hand, you push your leg. Okay, exactly. Push. You can do it. Exactly. Yeah. You can cross with it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Control the. Okay. And now we can go up. We are going to do exercises, the standing position, more exercise for the core. Okay, we will go in pairs. You can do together. Yeah? Yeah, I will. This position, okay? And then you have to push and try to keep your position. Okay? Yeah, you can push to him.
Push to him?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go down. Exactly. Try to bend your legs, activate your core, and try to keep the position. Exactly. Come on, come on, come on. Go a little bit down. Yeah. Okay. Now, change from this position, lunging position. Lunges are very important for badminton. It's like the most common movement in badminton. Like 25% of the actions are lunges and are very important for the fatigue and the performance. He's pushing too hard. Okay. Now, we are going to try to increase a little bit the difficulty. And we are going to introduce some balance exercises. The stability is very important for badminton athletes because more of the actions that they do during the on the court are in unstable positions. Because the game is very fast, they need to hit the shuttle or smash in situations where they don't have the proper balance. And then having a good control of their body is very important in terms of performance and injury prevention. Okay? Now, you hold this. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, from this position, like that, okay? And then you go with one leg, and then try to go forward and back, like a press Palov. Yeah. Yeah. And now put the weight in one leg, and if it's very difficult, you can move a little bit there. Okay. Yeah. Keep one leg. Okay. Here is if you go a little bit low with your center of gravity, you will have more control. If it's difficult, you can move a little bit. Okay, go a little bit down. Exactly. Here we are challenging more our core and our glutes to control the stability of our body. Okay, you can change. Now, same, but going up. He will be tired. Go a little bit closer. Try to put your center of gravity a little bit low. From outside, looks easy exercise, but you need to have very good control. Okay, this we'll call static balance. Now we are going to do it, some exercise of dynamic stabilization. It's moving our body to one position from one position to other position. That is more the situations that we find during the badminton matches. Okay, now you are going to hold like this, and then you are going to jump one leg, the other leg, and then keep the position. Okay, try to do a little bit longer jump. Okay, exactly. And now, when you land, put your center of gravity low to have more stability. Okay, jump here, and okay, perfect. Okay, now change. Yeah, now you will hold from this position and then jumping here and try to keep your balance, okay? This is more real that situations that we'll find. No, go to the side from here, yeah. And then go here and keep here. You can turn. Yeah, you can turn to this direction. Exactly. Try to stretch your arm a little bit. Exactly. Try to keep strong here. Okay, perfect. Okay, now you can go to the next part of the work that we are going to do is do some reaction and coordination exercises. There is one misunderstanding that putting leathers in the core and doing footwork, it's a coordination or agility, but this is very far from the reality of badminton. The agility depends on many different aspects. Depends on change of direction, strength, cognitive aspects. And just putting the leather and do it fast footwork is not going to help for the specific agility of the sport. Doesn't mean that leathers should put out of our training, but need to understand where we can use in our training and in which aspects can be important. Okay, we're going to move the mats there. No, no need the mats. Okay, you take two, take the balls. For badminton athletes, more for double athletes, since they are very close to the net, their eye-hand coordination is very important because they have a very short time to react, and not also to react. They have short time to make a decision about this action. And then eye-hand coordination is very important for badminton athletes. For example, we use these kind of exercises before competition or when it's very specific training, when we play real situations games, because from the aspects of the, sorry, I don't, the word come, like concentration is very important because when you do this kind of exercises, you put your mind just in the balls. Okay, first you go here and you in front. Okay, you here, I just want you throw the balls as fast as you can in this area, okay? And then the shuttles and you with the balls. And then you throw, you catch, and you pass back to her. Okay? We're gonna do just short. Yeah. With both, like this area, okay? You don't need to move the, okay. Here and here, okay? As fast as you can with the two balls. And you with the shuttles. This is important, like the work of the, okay. Try to, okay, we'll do. Yeah, no, more here. Okay, you take and you pass the hand. Okay, okay. After you take, you pass to me. Exactly, here. In this moment, the athlete only can concentrate about the ball. Okay. Yeah, keep doing. Try to go faster and try to put the ball in his area of the about around the shoulders and the head. Exactly. Okay. Another aspect that we can work is the accelerations and reaction. Okay? For example, with two tennis balls, you go back, you drop the ball, and he has to catch the ball. Okay? Yeah, you can do the same with the. It's okay. You don't need to be to.
Front or to the sides?
To the sides. Just open the hands, and then when you go. Yeah. Exactly. Go a little bit. In badminton, for example, it's not very important as other sports, the maximum speed, because the distance is short, but the capacity of acceleration is very important. In these kinds of the exercises, where the athlete has to accelerate fast to get the shuttle or the ball, are some ways to develop this capacity. Exactly. Try, because you're running short distance, try to put your body in this position. In case you are a sprinter, you will run in this position. But in case that the distance is short, it's better low position to run faster forward. Exactly. Come on. Good. But do two more and then change. Okay, now change, and you do the same, but when he catches the first ball, you throw back the second ball, okay? Now it's important to get the ball, to catch the shuttle, also have control the body to recover the position and catch the second one, okay? You go running, catch the first one, and then you throw the second one. Yeah. Okay, try to do a little bit faster. Okay. Faster. Here, and then fast the second one. Okay, exactly. Okay, go a little bit closer if it's too difficult. Come on, come on. Okay. There are many variants that we can do, like closing the eyes from these different positions, from sitting position, lying down on the ground. There are many possibilities that we can do. The last part of the exercise, we are going to do some shoulder exercises, very important in badminton because the amount of injuries that we can find in this sport, because it's an overhead sport. And then there are exercises we need to do to protect the shoulder of our players. Okay, you can give me the balls. Yeah, you can throw it there. Okay, first we'll do internal rotators. You go one side. Okay, from this position, bending the leg, keep your shoulders back, contract your abs, and rotate. Very important, not rotate the shoulder. Keep the position of your shoulder. You can do it at the same time. Yeah? At the same time. Exactly. Try to keep shoulders here. Keep here. Okay. Exactly. Focus. Contract your abs. Here. Okay. For example, for para-badminton athletes, it's very important because they move in the wheelchair with the racket in their hands, and then the amount of injuries that they have in the shoulders is very high. Then protecting their shoulders is very important. Okay, now we can do external rotation outside. Okay, shoulders back. Exactly. Try to go a little bit low and keep your, exactly. Keep your, exactly. Okay, we can do from this position, back, okay? Scapular abduction, the movement, no. Looking forward? Yeah, like that.
And then I turn.
Yeah, no. Keep this position, and then from here, you move to the side. Okay, this abduction of the scapula. Exactly. It's okay. Try, fix, okay. Here, move a little bit. Yeah, try to fix here the shoulder, and then straight your arm without the rotate. Okay. Okay, we can do punch action, very important for the serratus that give stability for our scapula. Okay, from here, you go forward and back. Here, and go forward, like punch. Look into the opposite side, yeah. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Serratus is very important to give stability for the scapula. Okay. I know we didn't have a lot of time to show you a lot of exercises. There are many things what we can do on the court. But what we need to think is how the training in the court is going to benefit the performance of the athletes. It's not just because we go to the court, it's specific. We need to think in the way that we can help the athletes. Because many of the times, as I said before, we put just letters in the ground, do some footwork, catching some balls, and we think that we are improving specific qualities of the badminton players, but this many times is not the reality. And then when we design training on core, we need to think about many different aspects. For example, from the cognitive point of view, how we can help the players to make better decisions because they have a very short time to make decisions, how we can create exercises to help this cognitive capacity. And another aspect that we need to consider is when the athletes are on the court doing technical training, it's not just technical training. They are doing technical training, tactical training, physical training, and mental training. And then we if during one training session the athletes do 200 jumps, doesn't make sense to us to do more jumps after the training. Or if they do 100 smashes, what we need to focus after they finish their training is to protect their shoulder after all this amount of smashes, or protect their back after this amount of jumps. And then it's very important that we take in account what the players do during the training. I hope you enjoy.